Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Moving Right Along, a Muppet movie podcast brought to you by toughpigs.com. It's the podcast where we watch The Great Muppet Caper 2 minutes at a time and talk about it a lot. I'm your host, Anthony Strand.
And I'm your other host, Ryan Rowe.
And joining us today, we have a very special return guest. Guest, tell the listeners who you are.
Hello, I'm Tansy Rayner Roberts. I am a writer and a podcaster and a Muppets fan.
And we are so thrilled to have you back. You were here last year to talk about towards the end of the Muppet movie.
Yeah, so, I got the musical number. That
it was
very
the Magic
exciting.
Store, if I recall correctly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm glad we could get you in towards the beginning of this one. Today we are talking about minutes 19 and 20 of The Great Muppet Caper. And in these minutes, as we open, Lady Holiday is chastising the models for wearing her designs poorly. Then an aspiring model enters Lady Holiday's office, and Lady Holiday hires the young woman as a receptionist. So, at the opening, like I said, Lady Holiday is chastising the three models, Carla, Marla, and Darla. And
she seems to be more chastising the outfits than the models, but the models do take it very personally.
They do, as we will see.
Yeah, that's a very interesting thing that's happening here. They take it as like a personal insult that she is criticizing these dresses that she herself designed.
Yeah,
although she does kind of say, at the end of this, she says they all look like a bunch of barnyard animals. Like, it's not like she says it like the dresses look like it.
She does sound like she's blaming the models for how the outfits look. Like, it really does sound, the whole scene sounds like she's like blaming them for wearing these clothes, and then she acknowledges that she designed the clothes and like blames herself afterwards, but they don't hear that part. So yeah, she is clearly very hard to work for.
Yeah, she does say, why would I design such atrocious looking clothes?
Right.
But she also asks her, like, do you like looking like an ostrich? And it's like, it's her job to wear this outfit you provided for her. This is...
Yeah, she's not being nice. Although, can we also note that Diana Rigg just tears this up?
Oh, like, she's great.
The first 35 seconds here are basically a monologue, and she feasts on it. It's so great.
She is. It's one of those things that Muppet movies did really well, of just getting in really good guest stars and getting them to do the heavy lifting. Like she's just wonderful. I mean, I said when you asked me to come on that I had to do a Diana Rigg scene, because that was all I cared about for this movie. So great.
Muppets are okay, but Diana Rigg,
they're fine. But they're in all the Muppet movies. Diana Rigg is only in this one.
That's true.
I think.
Right.
It's the great Diana Rigg caper.
Yes, but she's such a great, like, she swoops in, she controls every scene. It's wonderful. I would happily watch the movie that was just Lady Holiday and Miss Piggy for the whole movie, because they're great. It's like The Devil Wears Prada, only many decades earlier.
Right, and Anne Hathaway is played by Miss Piggy.
Yes, I think Miss Piggy would happily take all of Anne Hathaway's roles, and wouldn't that be actually quite great?
I was going to say, I would watch any of them. I mean, maybe Les Mis she might have a hard time with, but...
Oh, she would not have a hard time with that. Miss Piggy can play that part. As we know, she has several emotions that she can convey with her face alone.
That's true.
She would love those extreme close-ups, too.
She would. Yeah. I mean, I was thinking Catwoman, but also just The Princess Diaries.
Princess Diaries starring Piggy would be great.
Yes.
You're right. Just about anything.
Anything.
What's the one with Jason Sudeikis where he's a kaiju? What's that movie called? Gigantic?
Oh, Colossal.
Colossal.
I did not know that one, but clearly this Piggy could rock that movie.
That would be really interesting.
I'd watch that movie with Piggy instead of Anne Hathaway. But anyways, so before we get to Miss Piggy, which first I want to talk a little bit about Carla, Marla, and Darla.
I have a few things.
Who are all played by women who were actually working as models in London at the time. And none of them worked as actresses a whole bunch. Marla, the one with light brown hair, is played by Erica Creer, who this is the last of her 5 acting appearances. And Darla, the one with black hair, we'll say, this is her first of 4 acting roles, but neither of them did much. Carla is played by Kate Howard, who acted on and off throughout the 80s and 90s, and this is fascinating to me. She was in a TV version of The Scarlet Pimpernel, and she was in a TV version of The Bourne Identity with Richard Chamberlain as Jason Bourne.
Yeah,
in
actually,
1988.
that version of the Scarlet Pimpernel, my theater teacher in high school, anytime she was like tired or just didn't really want to teach our class, she would just have us watch that movie.
Really?
So I didn't even realize that was her, but I'm familiar with Kate Howard's work.
Sure.
Wow.
She also played a nurse in the Gong Show movie.
Yeah.
Which, if we're talking about adaptations of 70s variety shows, not as successful as the Muppet movie.
I kind of want to see it, though.
Sure. Yeah, I bet you do. That's right up your alley.
Yep.
I'd say, look, they're a very effective trio. They look fabulous, obviously. They're very 80s look, and the outfits are very memorable. I love that the clip we came in on, because I didn't actually watch the rest of the movie around. I'm doing this hardcore. I didn't rewatch the rest of the movie around this clip.
Sure.
The outfits are amazing, and clearly their main goal, these three actresses, is they need to convey elegance and just being really kind of annoyed and very snooty. Like they work as a trio very effectively.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think it's great.
I just like that their names are Marla, Darla, and Carla. Like, that's just one of those, the Muppet writers looking for any little opportunity to make a joke. Like, they could have had any names or no names at all, but they gave them funny rhyming names. So.
Well, and it also, that could have been like a Muppet Show act, right? Like that
Absolutely.
could be three little girls singing a trio. Or
yeah.
Very much so. And also it sort of makes it clear, like, these are not characters that are going to have individual personalities.
No, they don't need to.
It is a part that could be played by a single character, but the fact that it's a trio kind of just has this great visual symmetry to it.
Yeah.
You know, so, yeah.
Yeah.
So they're basically the same person.
Right. Exactly. Well, and even like the two Caucasian ones, I guess Marla and Carla, I think they kind of look alike. Like they have very similar faces to me.
They kind of have the same model look.
Yeah, but big eyes, very slender nose. You know, I don't know. They just like I if they switched hairstyles, I don't know that I would notice.
Right.
Like, but anyways, so they leave, and I love when Lady Holiday sits down. When my absolute favorite thing she says in these 2 minutes is, "I must be getting senile."
Yeah.
Yeah. I if we can go back just a step though,
please.
I just wanted to point out, well, two things. When she's insulting Marla's dress, she says it has too many frills and furbelows. Are you familiar with this phrase? Have you ever heard the word furbelows outside of this movie?
Only in the Jetsons movie. It's Fergie Furbelow is the like Brad Garrett's family, you know, that
really?
are monsters who work there. Yeah.
Cool, because I wasn't familiar with it. And then my wife and previous podcast guest, Stacey Rosen, pointed out that there's a line in the book Anne of Green Gables where a character refers to a dress as being a sensible dress because it does not have any frills and furbelows.
Oh.
So apparently this is actually, So the word
literary
furbelow,
reference.
Yeah, the word furbelow comes from the French language, and it just means a pleated or flouncy piece of material. So,
that makes sense because Anne is obsessed with getting puffy sleeves.
There you go.
On a dress.
So it's a good vocabulary.
Very major
word.
plot point.
It's interesting too, coming from Lady Holiday, because like, not that I would ever trash talk Diana Rigg, because obviously she's amazing and she would look amazing if she was wearing, you know, literally a sack. She could wear anything. But this is not a great outfit, and Lady Holiday, in fact, is all frill and furbelow. She has, you know, they say for to be truly elegant, you should get dressed in your outfit and then take one item off. Clearly, Lady Holiday is wearing at least 3 too many accessories and or bows and or like she's just covered in whatever a furbelow is. I'm pretty sure she's got them from head to toe. And it's particularly significant in the transition in the scene because when Miss Piggy makes her grand entrance, I got to say, Miss Piggy is in an amazing outfit, which is actually much more fashionably on point than what Lady Holiday is wearing, which I feel is a really interesting choice that the film made. And it was the 80s. Maybe they didn't know. There was a lot of very weird fashion stuff going on then. But yeah, I got to say, Lady Holiday is looking just a bit too flouncy. And,
yeah, that's a really good point.
Miss Piggy looks amazing.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to point out is she says Carla looks like an ostrich. Marla looks like a pigeon, and Darla's dress makes her look like a turkey's neck. And then a second later, she says the line about everyone looking like barnyard animals. But ostriches and pigeons are not barnyard animals.
That is true. But we now know that if this was a Muppet act, that is what those three women would be. They would all be different birds wearing those outfits.
But then we should note that in the July 22nd, 1980 draft of the screenplay, instead of saying that Marla looks like a pigeon, Lady Holiday says she has too much padding in the shoulders and hips, and it makes her look like a sway-backed mule.
Ooh, interesting. Also not a farmyard animal,
Not really, but it's a little bit closer than a pigeon, I would say.
Yeah. And I'm going to say, we do have ostrich farms, I think, in some places of Australia, and emu farms, but they're not that common, really. It's not a standard item, not a standard piece of livestock for a farm.
Right.
Well, and I kind of feel like the standard livestock animals are like a much harsher insult. Like if she calls them a cow or a horse, that's much worse than a pigeon, you know?
That's true. Whatever. And it's harder to have the fashion connection too, because it's like that outfit makes you look like a horse. Is like unless they're wearing bustles, really, it's not gonna fly. Yeah, it is interesting, isn't it? And also that thing of using animal names as insults in a Muppet movie. With Miss Piggy about to make her appearance is it's actually quite carefully chosen, really, isn't it? But they are not barnyard animals, even though it makes for a fantastic segue.
Yes,
right. I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing. But... Yeah. And speaking of that segue, who should enter the room? But we've already said it a bunch of times. Miss Piggy.
Yes. Fabulous entrance. Such a great entrance.
She gets this great like Lauren Bacall in To Have or Have Not lighting.
Yes.
When she walks in, it's just stunning. Like you know that she's
the angle of the hat and the sway, and you're right about the lighting. Like she is our romantic heroine.
Oh, for sure, no question. As soon as we see, and of course she's Miss Piggy. We all know that. We've seen 5 seasons of the Muppet Show. We've seen the previous movie.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising that they made us wait 20 minutes before we get to see Miss Piggy in this movie.
Right. I mean, they basically make us wait almost 40 in the Muppet movie, but she's in the screening room.
Right. You see her at the very beginning, so it gives you a little bit of Piggy to tide you over until her actual entrance. But not here.
Like is quite standard for Miss Piggy. It's like Miss Piggy is not the opening act. She is not the, in the beginning of the story, and she's very rarely portrayed as the point of view character. She always makes an entrance when she arrives, often once the story is underway, and after which she proceeds to steal the show from everybody.
Yeah, she's going to make you wait for her.
Right. Yeah. And especially here, I think she steals the show. I mean, I think of this as being Piggy's movie more than any of the others.
It is great. And just this, as said, like, I love the combination of Miss Piggy and Lady Holiday. They have such great chemistry. The fact that she walks into a room with Diana freaking Rigg sitting, like, playing an aristocrat at a desk, and Miss Piggy, like, and the two of them just have this banter that's so great, and they just perform against each other really well.
Well, one of the things that I love is this is hopping ahead a little bit, but of course she comes in and says she wants to be a high fashion model.
Yes.
And modeling is her destiny, and she won't accept anything less. And then Lady Holiday offers her a job as a receptionist.
Yeah.
Of course. And what I love is that Piggy positively flips out with excitement.
Yes.
Like, you're talking about how she enters the room with Diana Rigg. We don't see Piggy, like, bow to anyone. And she absolutely bows to Diana Rigg here, right? Lady Holiday is her hero. I mean, she wants to be a holiday model. Like,
clearly she does see it as a stepping stone, like we later on said, but not to go too far ahead, but she will take it. She is actually not, even though she is very ambitious and she has very high, like I'm going to be a high fashion model. Like she comes in with very high ambitions, but she's actually not too proud to take whatever she can get.
Right. Well,
and that's the really cool thing about Piggy.
And like, for example, later in Muppets from Space, she's the coffee pig on Andy McDowell's TV show, and it's like humiliating to her, right? She like doesn't tell anyone in the house, the other Muppets. But here it's like she gets about that same level of job, and she's so excited. She's genuinely so excited.
Yeah,
and it's such a great way to play Piggy, I think.
Yeah, this feels different, maybe because there's no doubt in her mind that this is going to lead to her becoming a high fashion model, whereas being the coffee pig in Muppets from Space, it's like just a cheap cable show. You don't really
true.
buy that this is part of her plan for becoming famous.
But
think about Miss Piggy. She's a really hard worker. She is the hardest working pig in the business. Like, she's always hustling for whether she's in a story where is already famous, or whether it's one in which she's on the ladder. You see her, she is not afraid to, I mean, often, we do occasionally get scenes and jokes and stuff about her being very snobbish or very spoiled, but when it comes down to it, she is not afraid of the hard work it might take to become the inevitable star that is being her destiny.
Right. Well, true. Yeah. But also what I think is great here is on the Muppet Show, she's generally suspicious of other women. Like, if the guest star is Cheryl Ladd or Raquel Welch or whoever, there's always something about Miss Piggy feeling threatened by them because they're a beautiful woman. And here, she's not only not threatened by Diana Rigg, like she willingly takes a job as her assistant and looks up to her, and this is her hero. And that's not something we see from Piggy.
No,
so I think it's fascinating that they did that. I think it makes her a more three-dimensional character.
Yeah, absolutely. It's much more interesting seeing, and again, it makes for really great dynamic between these two. The fact that Lady Holiday is in this position of power, but also has the sarcasm, whereas Piggy is the one who's so serious and earnest. So she's like genuinely excited, and then Diana Rigg comes in with the undercutting, the sarcasm or the lower tone. They bounce off each other so beautifully.
Yeah,
it's the young, really enthusiastic ingenue versus the cynical older woman who's her hero.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, even from that first line, so you've got Miss Piggy saying, "I would like to be a high fashion model," and Diana Rigg comes up with, "Doesn't surprise me. Seems to be the way we're heading."
That's so good.
Because again, the barnyard animals thing, and that's the other thing, acknowledging, because it's always the thing in the Muppet movies, isn't it? When they acknowledge that actually the characters are animals.
They do it a lot.
Because sometimes they go for a really long time without doing it, but then whenever they do it, it's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, it's referring to the pig or the bear.
Right. I mean, well, of course, yeah. I mean, in this particular movie, there's the runner with Kermit and Fozzie being twins, where the fact that they're a frog and a bear comes up all the time.
Right. And does not prevent them from being twins.
No, not in any way.
But also, of course, in the last movie, we had Cloris Leachman being allergic to animal hair.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's why they couldn't go in.
We should talk about Piggy's portfolio, which I think is beautiful.
That was the next thing I was going to bring up. So first, I'll ask you guys this: what's your favorite Piggy pose?
But that's the thing that not only is it the same expression on her face, she's also holding the same flower.
Her arms. So she's holding the same flower. Yeah.
She's changed her outfits. But yeah, so what do we get? We get reeking grandeur, which is it reeking grandeur?
It's like reeking grandeur. Yes.
Like wreaking havoc, but with grandeur.
Oh, see, I thought it was REEK, like something that smells very strongly, but she just smells strongly of grandeur.
Oh, maybe. Interesting.
But it could go either way.
I was thinking wreaking havoc. But yeah, then being aloof, being demure. And daring. Yeah. And of course, then we have Lady Holiday with interesting range of emotions. And again, so sarcastic. And Piggy doesn't get that it's sarcasm, which is because she's so excited. And she so genuinely believes in herself.
Well, and by the way, I watched this with my 4-year-old.
Oh, yes.
I've seen the movie before, but like she was watching these minutes with me. And that was her favorite part. We watched it about 10 times.
Yep.
And she, first of all, loved all the dresses, because she's really into pretty dresses.
Yeah.
So she was telling me which of the dresses she loves, which is all of them. But but even her, even she noticed right away that they were all the same pose.
That's funny.
Like she was just like, Piggy's wearing the same thing or standing the same way every time. And it's like, yep.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's just really a classic joke, though. The fact that the 4-year-old grabs it straight away is fantastic, because that shows it's like classic Muppets that we, adults find it funny and kids find it funny. Sometimes even for the same reason.
Right.
Also, the last dress was clearly the best of the 4, but they are all very good.
I think I like the demure one, but yes, they are all good.
Yeah.
And actually, by the time the movie came out, there had been 2 Miss Piggy calendars, like not just Muppet calendars, but calendars that are just every month is a picture of Miss Piggy. So this is like the peak era of like really nice clothes for Miss Piggy.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Piggy Mania.
Well, it was.
Yeah,
that too.
She was on the cover of Life magazine. And, Saturday Evening Post too. So she was all over the place. But I guess I don't know if we've mentioned Callista Hendrickson yet on this movie.
Oh, I'm not sure.
But she was Miss Piggy's costume designer on the Muppet Show and in various other projects, including this one.
Well, the fact that it's the same pose means these pictures were done specifically for the movie. It's not like they could just, unless they did the same joke in a calendar, they couldn't just use previously done shots.
I think these are especially for the movie.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say, what an amazing job to have, and she has done so far such a great job because every Piggy outfit is extraordinary, and clearly better than like the outfits being made for the humans, which I think is only right and proper.
Oh yeah,
because she's the star.
Oh yeah.
But as I said, again, in a movie with Diana Rigg in it, that is a fascinating choice for them to have made because, like, she just such an epic actress and fashion model who's worn so many amazing outfits over things. It's like, yeah, you know what? We don't want her to take too much of the attention from our actual star.
Yeah, she's not the most glamorous woman in this movie.
No,
well,
she's like the only time that's ever happened with Diana Rigg.
I'm sure.
But what I love is that she's so clearly completely on board with that. Like,
yes, yeah, no, she does absolutely. She knows her place in the movie, and she gets to be that world weary, cynical. Like, it is actually a great part. The human parts are not always. Let's face it, they're never the best written parts in the Muppet movies. But this is, they're not usually that well-rounded either. This is one of the really good parts. And I think, and it's interesting to see because, of course, the guest roles became more and more of a thing. But, yeah, this is a really good part for a human.
Yeah, yes. Maybe my favorite. Well, honestly, my top 2 might be her and the mostly yet to appear Charles Grodin in this movie. Like, okay. I think they're both so great.
Yeah, that's a good top 2.
So, and that actually just about brings us. I mean, that's kind of all I have. So before we close on this episode, any other thoughts on these 2 minutes? Tansy, I'll start with you.
Yeah, okay, I have a few. We have Miss Piggy's amazing meltdown when offered the job as receptionist. She's so she runs around screaming. She's so happy. I had a couple of prop comments or costume comments. One is, for all my criticisms of the overdone outfit, I do like what Diana Rigg is doing with her, with the fascinator and with the veil that she wears.
I had that too. There's this moment where she's watching Piggy and she just lifts the veil as if to make sure she's really seeing what she thinks she's seeing and then puts the veil back down.
Yeah. She does a lot of little subtle acting, interacting with props, and that's one of those little moments. It was very nice, and I think it's worth drawing attention. My favorite prop in this scene is the gold phone on the desk. I mean, there's a lot of lovely gilt items, but that is a very beautiful phone. And also in the last dying moment of the 2 minutes, the last thing we hear is Piggy assuring Lady Holiday that she can type, she can take shorthand, and she can make coffee. Do we actually think that Piggy at this point in her career can do any of those things?
I imagine it's hard for her to type because she is not a live hand puppet.
And she always wears gloves.
For shorthand, how would she hold a pencil?
Yeah, right.
Shorthand is a very hardcore skill as well. Obviously, it was a lot more common for stenographers and secretaries in this era. You wouldn't hear today of very many people who knew shorthand or even knew what it was.
Right.
Yeah.
And also, I don't think I would drink the coffee made by Miss Piggy.
No, I suspect. We mostly know from, let's face it, the Muppet Show in which she gets the coffee made for her. But yeah, I don't know. I am suspicious, but I also believe that she believes she can do these things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They said, Lady Holiday said you can be a receptionist. So she immediately launches into what she knows a receptionist can do. as like these are things that I myself can do if I believe it hard enough.
Yes, and she does believe very hard. So yeah, those were my things.
All right, Ryan, anything else?
Yeah, I just anyone who's listened to this podcast knows that I like spotting these little sort of puppetry trick moments. And this clip has one where Piggy comes in with the portfolio under her arm and then comes around the desk, and Lady Holiday takes the portfolio out of her arms and puts it on the desk. And then Piggy says, "You may open it," which is a funny joke because she's telling, she's here for a job interview or whatever, and now she's telling Lady Holiday to open the portfolio for her. But that's also, all of that stuff is there because Miss Piggy, as we just mentioned, does not have live hands, so she cannot open the portfolio with her own fingers.
Yeah,
and
that's
it's interesting
true.
Too, because Lady Holiday is not that enthusiastic. Like, she was not that interested in reading.
No, she doesn't really want to open the portfolio, but she has to because Miss Piggy is that kind of puppet.
Yeah, she is just somehow compelled to open this portfolio that she did not want to open.
Yeah.
I just love how they work around the limitations of the puppets.
Yeah.
Like that.
And they make it seem so effortless every time.
Right, and they make it funnier.
Right, yeah.
In this case.
So, anyway, The Great Muppet Caper is funny. We'll close there.
I'll co-sign that.
And we will be back. In the meantime, please check out toughpigs.com on the internet, Facebook, Twitter. We're all over the place. You can follow me on Twitter at ZeppoMarxist. You can follow Ryan at @MeRyanRowe. Tansy, can you remind the listeners where they can find you and your work?
The best place to find me is my website, tansyrr.com. I'm tansyrr also on Twitter. And my podcasts are Galactic Suburbia, Verity, and Sheep Might Fly.
Awesome. Love them. Thank you for being here again. And everybody, thanks for listening. If you're so inclined, give us a positive review on iTunes and tell all your friends to listen. And join us again next week for another episode of Moving Right Along. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.